Hello everyone, this is CJ Wiley, and today I'm going to share something that's been very impactful in my life. I was a natural pool player when I was 7 years old. I started the game. When I was 12 years old, I ran all 15 balls in order on a 9-foot table. So I was a natural prodigy, so to speak, and always had a gift for the game. But as I got older, I found out that I had consistency issues. And since I was trained to be a gambler, it didn't really bother me that much to be a slow starter. But for some reason, it would take me an hour, sometimes 2 hours to get in stroke. And it was just one of those things. Later, I found out it's because I had a flaw in my fundamentals, specifically my stance. So since I was standing more sideways, I wasn't right on the line of the shot. I was standing to where I was a little bit to the left of the line of the shot. So I would have to go over, like most people are doing now, to go down on that line. And sometimes it's just hard to do. And for me, like I said, it would take an hour or two before I found that slot. And that's what you're looking for, is a slot to go right down the line of the shot and make your aiming natural. The aiming in pool isn't the most difficult thing. There's many other things that are more difficult. As a matter of fact, the aiming should be one of the more simple things. But I'm going to show you when I get to the aiming part of this, I don't aim like other people do. I'm not trying to shoot a round ball at a round ball and hit a contact point or visualize a ghost ball or anything like that. My aiming is contingent on how well my setup is. And what I'm going to show you is when you're exactly centered, this gives you a huge advantage. And then I can show you how the aiming is natural. So when you're lining up to a shot, it's like shooting a pistol. You want to stand with your chest square to it, and the cue comes to you. So there's two different ways that you can do this. Most people are lining up on their hips, and they're going to the cue. What I do is I line up on the center of my chest, and the cue comes to me. So the issue is the right hip. And that's why you need to learn this technique and practice it. And you will be able to play this game as naturally as you can without this hip getting in the way. Like I said before, the human body is not made to play pool. So if it feels right, it's probably wrong. So when you're learning this, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks. Anybody can learn it with 10 to 15 minutes a day is all it takes. But you have to practice this motion that I'm going to show you, because there's a certain technique that's used to be able to go down so that you can shoot right out of the center of your chest. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So you see these foot positions. I'm going to put my right foot on the back position, left foot in position number 1. Obviously, if you're left-handed, I have a left-handed version of this. You'll just have to turn it around and do it the opposite way. But in this case, the left foot is the front foot. So if you look at me, right out of the center of my chest, what I want to be able to do is be able to get my head down in position to shoot every shot without my body getting in the way. And if I put my left foot in front of this right foot, you'll notice this right foot is on the line of the shot, but is turned. So what ends up being on the line of the shot is the ankle bone. Now, most of you right now, you have your ankle bone about 2 to 3 inches too far to the right. So it's not quite on your vision line, it's more on your hip line. And some people just line up on their right foot. Like I said, I think the best possible way you can line up is out of the center of your chest, center of your vision, center of your body. And then you can line up as solid as possible. So this right foot is turned to where the ankle bone is on the line of the shot. The left foot, this left heel has to be in front of this right toe. Even if I turned it straight, it would still be in front of the right toe. This is important because it turns my hips 30 degrees where I can get my hips out of the way. Because you can see my body's in the way here, but if I push my hips back, it's like my hips aren't even there. And I can only do that in this position with my hips turned 30 degrees to the side. See, if I stood with that left foot behind that line and tried to do the same thing, obviously my body's in the way. I'd have to twist it out of the way, and then that's going to throw my head offline, and my vision is the most important thing, and it is for you too. You want to start out with the center of your vision properly aligned, and then I'm going to show you how to align your cue stick to that alignment position, so then your whole body and your cue will be aligned to every shot. So then if you change the cue a little bit of an angle, let's say I changed a little bit of angle to the left, then if I went down to shoot, I would be lined up to cut the ball to the right. So I'm going to show you how to aim. Once you learn how to get centered, the aiming is pretty simple. And you can make any shot on the pool table without really doing it the way you've been doing it before. I'm not aiming at contact points or ghost balls or anything like that. I'll show you a way to do it that's very effective. But first things first, you got to get this alignment down. So my left foot's in position. If I wanted to go down from here, I could. I just start back with my hip and I can go right down and shoot out of the center of my chest. Now, if I've got a longer shot, I may do that on a shorter shot, but if I need to hit the ball a little harder, I'll generally always step over to the left a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to position my left foot from position 1 to position 2 without moving my head. So I'll put this in the center of my chest again, and you can see what I'm doing. I'm putting my foot over, pushing my hips back, and it forces my head and body straight down to the shot. So I can stay really square to it. Now, when I'm going down, my left hand then goes out in front of me. So my hips are going back and forth. So they're going more straight. My upper body is rotating. And sometimes you could just rotate it in front of you to start with, and then you can just do the same thing. Fedor Gorst likes to put the stick up in front of him like this, and then when he's going down, he pulls it back. It's almost like you're pulling back a bow. It creates a coil, and then that's going to apply to the super stroke trainer when I show you that, because it is making you coil every time. The pool stroke feels like you're pulling back a rubber band and letting it release right back where it started from. So that's what the super stroke trainer will teach you, but let's get back to this. What you want to do is keep all your weight basically on your right foot momentarily when you switch this foot over. And then when you push back, you should aim to do it at the same time. So your foot's over and you're pushing back so that you're perfectly balanced, but momentarily you don't have any weight on your left foot. So it shifts over, pushes back, and you go down. Now, even without a pool cue, this is what I'd recommend you do at first, is just stand in this position and stand naturally balanced so that, just like you were talking to your best friend here. The rule of thumb is you start balanced and you stay balanced. You start centered and you stay centered. That's what I'm going to do, and that gives you the most effective way to get down on any shot. Now, there are exceptions if the ball's on the rail or you're jacked up. You know, that requires a little bit different technique, but we'll talk about that later. So what I want you to do is just put your left hand in front of you, your right hand lined up. That means your right elbow is going to be in a little bit. That's where you really want it on your pool stroke. So just point straight ahead and then just place your foot over and push back. Do it again. You want to have good posture. Shift your left foot over, hips back. Left foot over, hips back. Now this is something that's going to train you to do this motion. This is the type of motion you're going to use. So then when you're shooting a shot, you're just going to go up to it. You're going to go up to every shot and just make sure your left foot's always in front and you're looking at the shot straight down the center of your chest. And I only position to 2 alignment positions with my body, which is center to center and center to edge. So I'm starting from the same exact position every time. And then I'm triangulating the angle off that fixed position. So if I had this stick straight to you and I'm perfectly centered, if I just angle this stick slightly to the left, it's going to create an angle to cut you to the right if you're the object ball. If I angle the cue out to the right, it's going to cut the ball to the left. Now, this is something that I can control, and I'm going to show you some real cool ways to go about doing this. But again, first you've got to get centered. So now, the next exercise I'm going to show you is just put it right in the center of your chest, hold both hands together, and tuck your elbows in. Then you're going to step out, push back. I like calling it just placing your foot. Stepping, you're usually going somewhere. In this case, you're not going anywhere. You're just positioning your foot over so you can push your hips back and get into this position. That's the ideal position. Sky Woodward probably is the best example of somebody that does this exactly like what I'm showing you. Shane Van Boening has this left foot back a little bit. He steps forward and goes down, but he's holding the cue much farther back than I am, so he has a longer bridge. So we hold the cue very similarly, but there is some differences because of where we hold the cue. Because there's three things that need to synchronize: where you hold your cue, your distance to the ball, and your bridge length. So if I hold the cue clear in the back, the distance to the cue ball would be from the front of my hip, if I put my hand there, to where the tip is. So right there would be where the cue ball would be. So if I get up and step over, push back, and go down, you can see my bridge is going to be very long. If I go to the middle of the wrap, then you can see the cue ball would be right here. So then when I step, push back, and go down, you see how my bridge is shorter. If I had a shot where the balls are real close together, a lot of times I'll go to the front of the wrap, then I'm this distance, cue ball would be right here. Then I step over, push back, and then my bridge is really short. So that gives me more control and I can get through the ball quicker. It's like a masse shot when I'm choked up like this. So anyway, the whole thing that will enable you to play your best pool starts with the foundation. This is the foundation, your stance and your footwork. So when you're addressing a shot, you just want to always go up and get your ankle bone on the line of the shot. Now, if I was going from back here doing that and I'm going straight towards you, now watch what happens. There's one little thing that has to be different than what you've done before, is when you step up and put your right foot in position, see how it hooks in front of me? See, that puts the ankle bone right in the center of my chest. Then I step here and here. So if you watch it, it's seamless. See how the stick goes straight towards you. I hook it and go here. Then I can step over, push back. Now, I would recommend doing this 500 times. Now, it sounds like a lot at first. It could be 50 times a day for 10 days. It could be 100 times a day for 5 days. I would recommend, if you're really serious about getting better as quick as you can, I would do it in 5 days. I would do this 100 times a day. You just step over, push back. Step over, push back. Just till you get that motion. So like I said, then when you go up to any shot, you'll just automatically get that left foot in front, push, and go down on the shot. And it'll be natural. It took me 2 weeks probably, and I had played a lot of pool because my first tournament in Toronto, Canada, my pro tournament, I beat Reyes and Strickland back to back, but I could tell they were doing something better than me. And it was the stance, come to find out. And fortunately, there was a man there that was an expert at the stance. And he showed it to a friend of mine, Roger Griffiths. He showed it to me, and then I took one lesson from him. It only took him an hour to show it to me, but it probably took me at least, I'd say 8 hours of solid practice over the next 2 weeks to be able to do it naturally and made it mine, where I could do it all the time. And my consistency got so much better that I practically didn't have to warm up, and my practice time, I didn't have to practice as much because I was going up and getting into the position that I needed to every time. Another thing that I want you to do and keep in mind when you're actually going down with the cue is to keep that stick in front of you. See, like if I put it as far in front of me as I can, stepped over, push back, see, I go down in the same exact position. This stick is a lot more in front of me than what it may look like. It's a little bit of an optical illusion. So anytime you're getting ready for a shot, you put this stick in front of you. I would do some practice strokes like this to establish the angle of the cue like it's going to be when you're down here. That's beginning with the end in mind. Stephen Covey said that one time in the 7 Steps of Highly Effective People. But if you want to be a highly effective pool player, you need to start practicing what I'm showing you now and do this about 500 times. Like I said, break it up and you'll start acclimating your body to be able to do it naturally. Till next time, this is CJ Wiley. And remember, the game is the teacher.